Hey, welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. Keeping up with our healthy theme, I have with me author David Meine. He's the author of Think, Use Your Mind to Shrink Your Waistline. And I can't even believe this almost, listening to this title. David, it's just crazy to think of all the things that you've done and the ideas that you put forth and how many people it's helped, this whole concept, your approach to weight loss. First off, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's wonderful to have you here this morning.
It's a privilege. This is exciting for me and for all the people that work at IdealShape.
Very good. And we're such I mean, Utah's very often been ranked as one of the healthier states, very outdoorsy state. There's lots of things that we can do to stay healthy, but there's a lot of us that still suffer from, sugar addictions, just eating those foods that are unhealthy for us. And we need to find a way to help us stay in shape. And you seem to have the answer to this. So I'm really excited to launch into this topic and talk more about it as that what you're doing. You have a couple products here with your company that we'll delve into a little bit towards the end. But first off, what are the 10 negative behaviors that hold people back from weight loss?
Well, it's interesting. As I've done this research, I started on this in 1999, and I was researching because of my own health and problems I was having. I started researching a topic called the toxic brain. And what causes a toxic brain. In essence, we don't think right, we don't feel good, our health isn't good. So what I did is then I started looking at, are there behaviors, is there negative beliefs that I have and other people have? And it's what's fascinating, people don't get a good night's sleep. And what happens with that? They wake up hungrier because they don't sleep well. So there's a challenge there. We get too much sugar, we don't drink enough water. We eat too fast, we eat till full instead of satisfied.
Okay, all these things you're naming, I've just about done about all of these, I think.
We have,
wow.
All of us. In fact, to date, the thousands of people that we've helped, they typically have no less than 5 of these negative behaviors that are affecting their weight and their health. And that's very fascinating.
Oh, that's crazy. And along with that, your approach to this is quite different than what I've heard before. Tell me what it is exactly what is contemporary weight loss hypnosis?
Okay. What's fascinating is we all go in and out of kind of hypnotic states during the day. I don't know if you've ever been on the road, driving down the freeway, you got your mind totally focused on something, and you miss your exit and go, oh my gosh, I missed my exit.
A couple times, yeah, that's happened for
and
sure.
So the key to contemporary hypnosis is that what I do is I get your brain and your body to relax. And then when you do that, you become hyper-focused. And we all do that. We've listened to Oprah TV, we've listened to Tony Robbins, we've listened to Stephen R. Covey, and we're mesmerized. We're listening to, and it's fascinating. In 15 minutes or an hour, we can completely change our life, have a paradigm shift. And so what I do is help people get relaxed, they get hyper-focused, and then they become suggestible to what these positive beliefs and behaviors we're trying to get to. And then what I use is very powerful visualizations in how to overcome a bad behavior. Just a simple example. Most people cannot visualize what their ideal shape is. Our program is not about weight. It's about choosing a size pair of pants, a shirt. For women, it could be a dress. And what it is picking that and then visualizing that will fit on your ideal body. If you can't see yourself as a size 10, or in my case, my goal was to get to a 34 waist, a large shirt, and be able to see my belt, be able to see my shoes, because I come from a family of big bellies. We call them the Meine big bellies. And so for me, that was the goal. I didn't worry about the weight.
Wow, that's amazing in terms of your approach to allowing people to visualize. That's such an important aspect of that. Something that I feel like many people don't even consider when they approach healthy living and wanting that healthy shape. Along with that, why is it that you have clients commit to only working on replacing one of these negative habits at a time? There's a certain time frame, 28 days. Describe that.
Well, have you ever heard of a term called diet chaos?
I think a lot of us are familiar.
I had a lady call me one time and she's like, I need to lose 30 pounds in 5 weeks.
Wow.
And I said, well, what are you doing? Well, I'm getting a detox. I'm going to go back and use the gym. I'm going to run 3 miles a day. I'm going to change the way that I eat. And then she was calling me for the weight loss hypnosis to help her. And so it's just chaos. And the thing that I asked her is, okay, when you say you can lose that weight in 5 weeks, 30 pounds, because she wanted to wear a bikini. She was going on vacation and she was going to be in front of friends, family, people she didn't know. And so she gets, and she's getting there, and I said, okay, when you lose the 30 pounds, how are you going to keep it off? Oh, I don't care. And I said, well, you're going to get healthier, you're going to get there, and you don't care to keep it off for the rest of your life? And that's not her mindset. And so what I do is I have people rank these 10 behaviors, these negative behaviors, and they rank them from the worst to the least, and then what they do is they pick one of those behaviors, and then I've created a visualization exercise that they do for 28 days. Every single day they can do it when they go to sleep, or if they have time during the day, they can do it during the day. But the key is we need to change that negative belief. Just like people tell me, I had a woman sleep 2 hours a night with Ambien. And she was trying to lose weight. And I said, you know what? You're not going to lose weight until you can get a good night's rest, 7 to 8 hours. So I helped her in a short period of time, working on that behavior every day. Within a couple of months, she was now sleeping 7 to 8 hours, 7 to 8 hours a day without Ambien. And so the key is that I'm trying to stop the chaos and say, okay, focus on one behavior. For me, sugar was huge. I call myself a sugar addict. And so,
me too. We should have been friends before this. And so how did you deal with that in your approach to it?
Well, in the research I found and created 3 categories of sugar. So you have beverages that are loaded with sugar and sodium. You have the traditional desserts and cookies and all that type, and candy bars. And the 3rd category is processed foods. And so in sugar, for some people, sugar takes 3 months. So they pick one category, work on that for 28 days, then pick the next category. And see, for me, people read the book, I have been diagnosed with ADHD. I have a brain that's just going all the time. So like right now I'm talking to you, but I know the cameras are on, I'm hearing other sounds, and this furnace is going back here, and I hear all that and all that stuff's going on. Well, sugar just accentuates that and makes it very difficult for me to, my memory, my focus. And so, but for me personally, being able to, and I call it moderating sugar, we're not trying to stop sugar, but people, I'll give you a simple example.
Okay.
When you drink, you go to the convenience store and you get a 44-ounce beverage. Do you know how much sugar is in there and how many calories?
More than is healthy for me.
What's fascinating is a 44-ounce beverage, that's loaded with sugar, is 128 grams, 500 calories. I work with clients that drink 5 to 7 to 10 of those a day. So let's say you just do 5 a day, that's 2,500 calories before you even eat. And for your size and everything, you're probably around 1,800 to 2,200 calories. So it's no wonder people can't lose weight when they're putting that much sugar, and the problem is the body can't process it, so then it goes into your fat cells.
Wow.
And so that's just one category you could decrease the sugar in and be able to change your waistline and your hips and places that you struggle with.
I like that simplified approach, because honestly, when I approach that, I love chocolate. I love having a sweet thing occasionally, and you really simplify that, I think, for your clients and allow them to approach it easier.
This. You go to a friend's house, they bake a pan of cookies, chocolate chip, macadamia nut, you're trying to create your ideal shape, you smell it, and so unfortunately, your friend might know you're trying to lose weight, and she comes up and offers you a can of cookies. We call that sabotage, right? And so, but the thing is have a cookie. So you take a cookie, you eat it slowly, enjoy the flavor, enjoy the smell and the texture, and have one cookie, and you're done. But most of us, what we do, if we haven't trained our brains, all of a sudden we said, oh, I had a cookie, I've blown it, it's over, and then you both eat the whole pan of cookies. Then the backside of it, now you go home, you're guilty, I'm such a loser, I can't.
It's downhill from there.
And it's downhill from there. And so what I do is get people to change negative beliefs and behaviors into positive ones.
And along with that, you call yourself a professional brain trainer, and you've touched on a lot of this, but describe that for me.
So the challenge you have in changing the behavior is who's going to teach you and who's going to talk to you in your head to change this. So what I did is I created an audio brain training CD series that take each one of those behaviors, and so between 5 minutes and 20 minutes a day you listen to that, and so what I do is I talk to your subconscious mind, because it's at the subconscious mind that we have these beliefs. For example, we're both sitting here, and at the subconscious level, we're not thinking how many beats our heart needs to beat, how much we need to breathe, that we need saliva in our mouth, and just all these things are going on without us even thinking about it. So these old habits, these old behaviors are there at the subconscious level, and we've trained our body to do that. So how do you undo that? Well, I have a trained voice. I have an advanced degree in hypnotherapy, specializing in weight loss. And so I just use those 4 principles that we talked about at the beginning of the show. And so I help people every day change their thinking. And the benefit is, all of a sudden now, as their brain gets more positive, they start losing some weight, they start getting closer to their ideal shape, their self-confidence goes up, their self-esteem goes up, their self-worth goes up, because I can get people to imagine what their bodies are going to be like when they get to the goal. And the most important thing, Chelsea, is when you get to your ideal shape, doing the things that we do here, we have research and everything that shows that people don't put the weight back on.
Wow.
And that's the crazy thing. In our society now, I talk to people and they'll, how many diets have you done? Oh, I've done 15. And they'll lose the weight, and it's called yo-yo dieting. They put the weight back on in another couple of pounds. Then they go on the next diet, back and forth. Well, what I'm trying to do with this book is get people to understand they can change that behavior, and that they now can change their thinking and get the benefits that they want.
Awesome. This is so cool. So many wonderful tips in here. I want to mention also what we have here as part of your company. You have all these great resources to help people reach that ideal shape. But let's go briefly through what we have here.
So we started our company in 2003. And so the first group study we did, we created a meal replacement shake and different things.
Those.
And what's unique about our meal replacement shake is it only has 1 gram of sugar, very healthy, 20 vitamins, but more importantly, we've been able to use a patented hunger blocker. And it's crazy because you think it's a protein extract from white potatoes. But what it does something in our body, it releases CCK, which is our appetite, and blocks that naturally. And so they get wonderful nutrition, but at the same time, they get to cut their hunger down while they're working on their brain. I wrote a book before this with my partners called IdealShape for Life. This is a roadmap on the brain.
This is awesome.
On exercise and on nutrition. And it's funny, 80% of our clients are women, but they buy for men.
You have sample meal plans.
Yep.
I like how you say that. A lot of women, like you said, are the buyers.
Right.
Men may provide the check in some cases, but they're the ones bringing the food into the home.
And then the next thing we did is we created, everybody kept asking, is there any way you could create a meal replacement bar? So when I'm on the go, I can throw it in my purse or throw it in my car, and I can have a nutritious, they're like 140 calories, hunger blocker, 24 vitamins, only 7 grams of sugar. And then the kind of the crowning achievement for me with this book is that I've created these CDs where they can visualize their ideal shape, and I'll teach them how. I'll show them how they can use their brain and overcome sugar and sleep and just all the different things that people struggle with. And so what the book does is it kind of explains that all. The good thing is I, at www.thinkthinbook.com, I have free tools. So people can download a visualization track so they can visualize their ideal shape. I have one that I teach people in 5 minutes how to relax. And so there's all these kind of things that people can get free resources. And then if they want to do the whole program, they use these as tools to help them get to their ideal shape while they do the brain training and retrain their brain.
Wow, so many wonderful resources. I think this is the perfect time of year to do this because a lot of us, with our New Year's resolutions, we've jumped on it for about a month. You may or may not have, jumped off the bandwagon of pursuing your resolutions, but we're getting a new month, a new week. It's Tuesday. Jump on that and get started again. And these are some great ways to help you out. You have a number that we can also get in touch with you.
It's 800-515-0896.
Perfect. And you mentioned your website, so we had those up there for you.
Perfect.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to have you here, David, and I certainly appreciate the tips and the insights. Such a fascinating field and one of those wonderful ways to help us get to our ideal shape. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back here after this quick break to talk more about the Mountain Morning Show. We have about 10 minutes left. Don't go away.